It's one of the best love songs I believe to be written in 50 or 100 years, and it never says, I love you in the song, but it really is one of the finest.
Frank Sinatra, born in the early 1900s in the working-class neighborhoods of New Jersey, would rise to become one of the most iconic American entertainers of the 20th century. With his unmistakably smooth voice and timeless standards like New York, New York, and Fly Me to the Moon, Sinatra defined an era of elegance and musical sophistication. His talents didn't stop at singing. He also became a Hollywood favorite, starring in celebrated films such as Paris When It Sizzles and It Happened in Brooklyn. Known affectionately as Old Blue Eyes, Sinatra's charm and charisma made him a symbol of cool confidence, his influence echoing through generations of musicians and performers long after his time. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, a new wave of sound was reshaping the global music landscape. The Beatles, formed in Liverpool in 1960, revolutionized pop and rock with songs like Here Comes the Sun, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and All You Need Is Love. Their innovation, harmonies, and boundless creativity redefined modern music, turning the Fab Four into cultural legends. Though Sinatra and the Beatles came from vastly different worlds, crooner sophistication versus youthful rebellion, their legacies often crossed paths in surprising ways. Sinatra's relationship with the Beatles was famously complicated, at times dismissive, at other moments full of reluctant admiration. His public remarks reflected both the generational divide and his deep respect for great songwriting. When promoting his 1965 album, A Man and His Music, Sinatra took a sharp jab at the new British invasion, poking fun at what he saw as childish performers hidden behind wild haircuts. Yet, despite his critiques, Sinatra was not blind to talent when he heard it. One song in particular managed to pierce through his skepticism, George Harrison's Something. Sinatra would later describe it as one of the greatest love songs ever written, a rare and powerful acknowledgment from a man who had spent his life interpreting romance through music. So moved was he by the song that he performed and recorded it twice, placing it among his personal favorites. Sinatra also covered Yesterday, another Beatles classic, a move that carried weight within the industry. According to Billy Joel, Sinatra's decision to sing a Beatles song gave the group an air of legitimacy in the eyes of older audiences who had dismissed them as a passing trend. For many, if Sinatra sang it, it must have been a truly great song. Sinatra wasn't the only legendary artist who expressed mixed feelings about the Beatles. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll himself, reportedly shared a similar conflict. While he publicly criticized the band for their political views, going so far as to tell President Richard Nixon in 1970 that the Beatles encouraged anti-American attitudes, he also quietly admired parts of their music. Reports from the era describe Elvis complaining about the group's appearance and their supposed influence on rebellious youth, yet those close to him knew a different side of the story. David Stanley, Presley's stepbrother, revealed in a 2025 interview that Elvis privately admired George Harrison's songwriting, calling him the most gifted of the four. Among the songs Elvis cherished were Something, Here Comes the Sun, and If I Needed Someone, all Harrison compositions that reflected a spiritual and melodic depth Presley deeply respected. He even expressed appreciation for Norwegian Wood, a song by Lennon and McCartney, though he rarely admitted it publicly. In the end, both Sinatra and Presley, titans of an earlier musical age, found themselves drawn to the artistry of the Beatles, despite their reservations. Whether through grudging respect or quiet admiration, their praise served as a reminder of the Beatles' universal reach. Even the kings of swing and rock couldn't ignore the revolution that changed the sound of the world forever.